Hi everybody, welcome to the double pocket card video. So today I'm going to show you what our March 2021 Stamp Club made. These are our double pocket cards. I love this idea. Every time I see this on the internet, I just absolutely love this technique. There's a pocket here and a pocket here. One sheet of paper makes the double pocket card. Super clever. Love that. Then you've got some cute little tags to tuck in there. You could use a gift card to tuck in there, maybe a photo, some money, any other kind of sentiments. And we're going to make a square version as well. One sheet of paper. Super cute. So I am going to ask you for a little forgiveness because this is my take two. I made a mistake on my first video, so bear with me. And I just have things already put together, so I'll walk you through the techniques with some different paper. Don't worry. So if you have your kit, you can follow along. Otherwise, if you have an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, preferably double-sided with different prints, you can follow along with me, and I will show you how to make the double pocket card. So we'll start with an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. Double-sided, two different prints. When you start out with this card, and this is fun because you don't need a paper trimmer or a scoring board or anything. You don't need it. It's not necessary, but a bone folder is pretty handy. So choose your paper, and let me show you this one more time. If you see that this floral paper is what you predominantly see, that's the side that's going to be face up. So on your pattern paper, what side do you want to be more predominant on your card? And that's going to be the face up side. So I'm going to choose these stripes. I think these are super pretty and vibrant. So this is going to be my face up side that I'm going to see the most. So starting with your 8.5 by 11, this is really easy. You're going to fold it in half the long way. Give it a nice smash with your bone folder. Open it up and fold it in half the opposite way, pretty side out. Give it a good crease. And then you have 4 panels. So the next step we're going to do is take the bottom right corner and fold it up to the fold mark, that center score line. Give it a smash. So you fold that bottom corner up to your center score line. Then come to the top left, and you're going to turn this corner down about 1.5 inches from the center fold line. If you are particular with your measurements, you can take a ruler, put it at the 1.5 inch mark at your center fold line, and just turn your corner down. It's most important that your paper is straight vertically and horizontally. I think I shifted a little bit there. So if you're particular, just put it 1.5 inches. You see my center fold line there. Just put it 1.5 inches on your center fold line and turn your corner down. So bottom right comes up, top left comes down. Next step, we're going to take a scissor and just cut straight in on that fold line to the center. Just to open that up. Okay. Next step, fold the bottom behind. And you're going to take this corner and cover up. Just bring it back up again over that diagonal that you just made. So you're covering it. This is so easy, guys. Take your top piece and you're going to close it like a book. So this was a mountain fold. You're going to reverse it and close it like a book. And then take the bottom and bring it up. And voila, there is your double pocket card. How easy is that? Right? Super simple. Super simple. All right, let me show you. Well, from here, I went and folded the blue Serenity paper in that same fashion. So if you have a class kit, take your blue piece, and I'll open this up again and just real quickly go over this again. So I have a class kit next to me that belongs to somebody. I'm just going to take this paper out. So when you're folding this paper, have the pretty side out. You're going to fold it in half this way, the long way, fold it in half the short way, and then lay it down, bring the bottom up, top left down, and go on. So flower side up for that. Bottom side up, top left down, cut on the center fold, take the bottom half, tuck it behind, and then bring it up, crease it, top, close it like a book, and then bring the bottom up. There it is. There it is. So you just want to seal it up a little bit. So on my sample here, what I'm going to do, I want to close this edge. Now, if you want to, you can tack down these panels here. So I'll just put a little touch of glue on there. Seal it up. Now, I'm not concerned about this bottom part being open because we're going to fold this up and that's going to hold everything in there. I'm not worried about it. But I'm going to put glue down this fold line on the side to seal it. And there you go. There's your double pocket card. Isn't that so pretty? Really, really super simple. Really easy. All right, next for our square card, I'm going to use an 8.5 by 8.5 square. So if you're following along, just take a piece of pattern paper, 8.5 by 8.5 square. And it doesn't matter what size paper you use. You're going to fold it in the exact same manner, and it'll give you the same effect. But with this one, because I want my unicorns on the outside, but facing the proper direction, I'm going to just turn it upside down. You'll see what I mean. So if you have your plaid piece for the Easter card, you're going to have the plaid side face up, fold it in half, give it a crease, open it up, fold it in half the opposite way. It's nice to use a random print with these particular cards because then it doesn't matter which direction your print is facing. But with my unicorns, particularly turning them upside down. So bottom right corner is coming up to the fold, the center fold line. Top left is going to come down about 1.5 inches from the center. And same thing with the square card. It's the same procedure. You're going to cut a line on that fold to the center. So I think this is what's neat. You don't need a paper trimmer or a scoreboard. Doesn't matter. So these elements here. Next, you're going to fold behind. Whoops. Just the bottom. Fold behind. Bring it up. Smash it. Now, because of the crease of the paper underneath, you're going to have a little gap here. It's not going to match up exactly because, you know, you have the bump of the paper that you folded underneath. That's okay. Okay, next step up, close it like a book. And then lastly, bring it up. So now my unicorns are facing the right direction. This little piece, they're upside down, but my tag is going to hide that portion, really. I wanted this more so to be face up. So there's your square card. So it doesn't matter what size paper that you have, the folding is still exactly the same. One of the gals in Stamp Club said, can you use a 12 by 12 piece of paper? The whole sheet? Absolutely. You're going to end up with a 6 by 6 card then. So an 8.5 by 8.5 square gives you a 4 1/4 square card. A 12 by 12 full sheet of paper will give you a 6 by 6 finished card. Alrighty guys, so let's come back to our blue Serenity paper. So you made your double pocket. and just put a little touch of glue on this edge to seal it and down the long edge to seal it. And here are your tags. So you have these elements here. I cut these tags out with some dies, and you're going to do some layering. You have gold foil, and then the stamped message that's going to get layered onto this tag, and then ovals, gold foil, and the happy birthday onto this tag. So, because I kind of screwed up on my first video, I wanted to show you how to get these edges. You see, the edge of this tag has that little bite, and I wanted to layer and get that same style with the little bite out of it. And here's what you do for that. You take a circle punch, and we're going to take a bite out of the corner. So you're going to put your tag, that piece of paper, into the circle punch with a little corner. You're going to take a bite off of that little corner and just try to make that uniform on all four sides. So you take that little bite out, and that's what's going to give you that little shape. Some people wanted to grab their corner rounders. That's the opposite effect. We don't want to do that. So you feed the corner in, take a little bite, and just try to make that uniform on all four corners. And that's how you get that effect. So when you have your paper to layer, really cute. So that's a new little finishing technique to do with your cards and your layering. And then you have grosgrain ribbon here. This is kind of funny, from circa maybe 2000. So what ribbons do you have in your stash? And good old-fashioned brads, just poke the brad through the ribbon and put it through the hole of the tag. And slide them in your pockets there. And we made a belly band for this card with the gold foil. Wrap it around. And then your bluebell cardstock layers underneath. Wrap that around and glue the overlap. And then this is a zip strip. Wrap that around. Now, when you have a belly band on a card, I think our first instinct is to wrap it from front to back and then have your seam on the back. I don't like to have a seam on the back because people will turn your card over and see, oh, wow, how did you make that? That's amazing. I don't want to have all this bulky edges, on the back side. So what I like to do is put the seam on the front of the card and cover it up. So we're going to use this really pretty flower from the Cricut Flower Market cartridge. So my overlaps are all underneath that flower. You can't even tell. So all my overlaps are underneath the flower. So when you take your strips to make your belly band, start from the back, wrap it around to the front. And I have mine off center, and then glue that flower on top. So next I'm going to show you how to make that flower. You have a little baggie with all these little parts. And from the Cricut, this was cut at 2 inches. So this is the size flower that you're going to end up with, a 2-inch size flower. And these are all the pieces. So it cuts out a circle. You're going to have 5 large petals and 3 smaller petals. And to put this together, it's a little time consuming, but the effect is really pretty. So the first thing you want to do, this is how the petals are cut out. And the first thing you want to do is take a pencil or a pen, or I have my piercing tool here. You're going to roll the edges over a pencil or your piercing tool to get that shape. So curl every petal, all 8 of them, curl them over. The next thing, each little petal has a little split in the middle. You're going to need to just separate it. Just separate it. And to get the shape of this, you're going to take a little bit of glue and just dot it on one of those little slits. And then you're going to take one of this, you're going to crisscross them like that. And then hold it there so it bonds. So take your little pieces and bend your paper, crisscross them, pinch it to hold it, And then as I hold it while it's bonding, I like to take my fingers and kind of bend the petals back to kind of create that shape while it's bonding. So do this with each little petal. I have one more here to do. So a little dab of glue and crisscross. So bend the paper, crisscross, bend it back. Now the circle is your base. You're going to build your flower onto the base. So you're going to start with the 5 large petals, and you're going to attach these onto the circle base. Picture a head, 2 arms, and 2 legs. That's how you're going to glue this down. Just like that. And then you're going to take your 3 smaller ones and add them to the inside when you layer that. So, a head, 2 arms, and 2 legs. I think that's a little easy diagram to get your spacing. Okay, and then your 3 little ones you're going to put on the in-between. And then the two little gold pieces, they kind of look like starbursts. I took my piercing tool, and you're going to just rub the middle to kind of get them to curl up a little bit. And then just layer those 2 together, off center, and then glue them into the center of your flower. So that's how that comes together. Super pretty. Alrighty guys, so let's move on to the next one, our little Easter card. So I have my sample here. I'm going to come to. Your sample has Easter eggs on one side and the plaid on the other. Mine has the gingham on the inside. So I want you to come to these scallop pieces next. And before you glue this together, this was kind of another boo-boo that I made on my original. We're going to glue those scallops and then you're going to just snip off the extra right like that. Whoop. Okay, so that's what that's going to look like, and then we need to add our scallop down this long piece here. So before you glue it down, add your scallop pieces. I thought that was just nice to add a decorative element to it. Cut off the extra. I'm going to snip this off so it folds. All right, isn't that pretty? It just adds a nice little finished touch there. So on your sample here, here's your 2 tags. You're going to glue, I stamped your Easter bunny for you on this white circle. And you're going to glue that onto the tag. You're kind of going to cover up that hole in the tag. But I put it at the top, so that's where the brad and the ribbon is going to go. And we colored in the Easter bunny in the basket with some watercolor pencils. You can use markers, regular color pencils, whatever you so desire. And the other tag that I have here, little tiny pieces, just a little touch of glue right there.